Oh, the clicker, clacker, clicker, clacker of the 1930 Hudson. Oh, this is no Hornet. This is before the Hornet. Woo, signature car. Hey, cats and kittens, it's a toy car case event at Johnny Roman's Supper Club. It is 3:16 on old Johnny Clock. Let's see what pulled into our parking lot. Oh, let me tell you something about a 1930s car. Oh, back in the day when I was younger, I had a 31 Roadster, a 5-window coupe, all original, but they were Fords. You know what this one is? It's a Hudson. 1930 Hudson by Signature. Now, in looking at this, we're missing the bumper on the back, which were fragile because they were plastic, and the bumper on the front of this. But you got the headlights, and look at that cowl and radiator. Oh, I'm telling you, there is nothing more beautiful than that to me. Oh, got a spare tire, must have been a deluxe. You got running lights on each one on one side, busted off on the other. Oh, but again, you modelers can take that off carefully, mold it, and recreate it for the other side. Look at those door handles, just classic 30s door handles. And this one has a rumble seat and a trunk. Now these cars normally just had one tail light. And let me tell you, I did not like, Michigan, 1930. Oh, look at that. I did not like driving at night because, man, those bulbs were not that bright back in the day. Now, my Roadster did have a luggage rack like this and a trunk. It had the side curtains and everything. Now, mine was a deluxe with a spare tire on both sides. I should have never sold it. Big Mama said keep it. I sold it. Shoot! Would have been fun to have with Trixie and Soda Pop. Oh, they would have loved riding in the rumble seat. Now look at this. Simple, early engine in there. I'm telling you, big horn on top. And this is how the hoods were hinged. You had some sort of little bracket to kind of keep it from chipping the paint. Oh, look at that. And it just carefully slips right back into place. You can't, the way this is made, you can't open both at one side. Now on the real cars you could, but look at that. Everything is all right there on that engine. Just so simple and sweet. Now, I don't see. Now, on mine, the gas tank was literally right in front of you. Talk about dangerous. Now, here's the step. That was a step to get up onto the fender. So you'd step on the skirt here, step on that pad, and then into the rumble seat. And look at that leather on there. Isn't that sweet? And man, if it was a rainy day or a cold day, you had blankets or whatever to cover you to try and keep you dry. Now these are wooden spokes on this, that was typical of the day. Sometimes you got metal, and look at this. The doors open and you've got your emergency brake, you got your shifter, your gauges. Again, the gauges were like nothing, and your map light was just a little knob on the dashboard. You pushed in and twisted, and it made a connection. Oh, look at that. Beautiful leather interior. Let's open the other side to see if we can get a little more light in there. I don't want to use the handles to open these. Oh my gosh. Because they're so fragile, I don't want to bust them off because this is not my car. I'm borrowing this from a coworker, and oh, I'm so glad he lent it to me. This is the coolest car around that I've seen in a long time. Look at that dashboard. It's got something sticking out of the dash there. I'm not quite sure what that was on the Hudson Hornet. I never had a Hudson Hornet on this Hudson, but I never had anything sticking out on the dash on my Ford. Oh, look at this. Doors open and close. The other cool thing about this is the front wheels actually have a tie rod on it and they steer. Now, does the steering wheel twist with the wheels? Oh, no, it doesn't. Does it? No. That would have been cool if it twisted, wouldn't it have? Oh. Love the license plates. And again, Michigan, 1930, real small type on there. Look at the detail on the grill. I wish the bumpers were on there. That would have been great. Now here's the bottom of it. You can see how that is all working. Simple tie rod, pivoting those front wheels. Now here is the manufacturer's signature. I have never seen that before, or that logo, but judging on this car, they are making quality stuff. This is a 1930 Hudson, used under license, made in China. You can see there's the screws that they use to adhere it to a base. There was two of them. And it looks like with a tiny screwdriver, you could take this thing apart and customize it. Paint up all this bottom. That would be kind of cool. Fill in that leaf spring a little bit so that you could have a pretty authentic looking vehicle on the bottom as well. Now the tailpipe looks like it busted off, as well as the bumper. You can see where it was. Oh, that's too bad it busted off. This one, the peg just came loose and came out. But maybe you can find another one. Maybe you can find the company and see if they'll send you some replacement parts. But to me, this one is well worth fixing up. This is the coolest thing around. Steering wheel. The wheels are steering. You got a spare tire. Oh, don't we all have a spare tire these days? But hey, I'm working on it. And this one, white wall tires. Now, again, this one isn't really made for rolling, like playing on the floor, because it's, I'm telling you, beautiful. This is a trailer queen if I've ever seen one. But if you have one of these out on the road and you're driving it around so people can see it, that is awesome. I really appreciate people like you that do that. We would drive our Big Mom and I drive our Model A around that roadster, and man, if there was an old guy walking down the street and an old woman walking down the street and they heard that noise of the engine, oh, they would perk up. And I'm telling you, one time this old man, he's walking with a cane all hunched over, and we saw him and he turned around and smiled, and Big Mom and I made a big U-turn, came up next to him and said, "Hey, you want to ride?" And I leaned back out of the front seat. These are tiny compartments and mine was a convertible, so I leaned back, flipped the handle and flipped the seat up, and I'm telling you, that old man, he flipped his cane under his arm and he jumped up on that running board and then onto that plate and into the back seat like he was 9 years old. And he had his arms folded right here, leaning forward with his head right on his hands, looking out the front windshield as we drove around. We drove him around for about 45 minutes. And let me tell you, he told us stories of him growing up driving in a car very similar to the one we were driving in. It was great to hear his stories about old cars. It was cool. Very cool. Man, if you know someone that would love a ride in your vintage car and you've got something like this, I'd suggest to give them a ride. It gives those people a a thing to remember for the rest of their lives. Oh, it unlocks memories like you wouldn't believe. But let me tell you, this is one of the coolest cars I've seen in a while. It's larger scale. You can tell by our 1931 Woody that we use in our videos how much bigger it is. But, oh, just beautiful. My buddy, my co-worker, he's got it. And he's gonna build a zombie apocalypse with this thing. Oh, the pain in my heart, knowing that this thing is gonna get chopped, diced, sliced, bloodied up. I don't know anything about zombies, but he sure does. And he's gonna do a big diorama. But I am so thankful that he lent me this thing so I could see it. I had no idea what was gonna be in this box. But this was a total treasure. I'm telling ya. Thanks for watching. And thanks for coming out for another Toy Car Case event at Johnny Roman's Supper Club. This is a 1930 Hudson with a rumble seat made by Signature. We will see you on the flip-flop. We'll see you racing down the blacktop. Awesome! We will catch you on the other side. I can't wait to see more cars! I know you're a toy car case guy out there. It is 3:16 on Old Johnny Clark. Let's see what pulled into our parking lot. Hit that subscribe button and you won't miss out. Don't you wish you had that? This is the place to be!